He was in the back room changing the sour line when Shame came in looking like a polar explorer. He shook the snow off his coat and hung it up on a tangle of deer antlers screwed into the wall near the door. Cass made an intricate maneuver of pulling back his sleeve, flicking his wrist down and checking his watch. Then he went back to twisting the valve in place on the neck of a silver cylinder. Don't know who's drinking all this. I don't serve college kids. Feels like I ain't been down to the rail all night. Did you ask? Shame knew the answer. If you asked Cass anything, the truth was in your question. And, in truth, Shame wasn't even really asking. Cass knew that too. He answered by pausing with the valve for the space of a breath, and then finishing off the remaining twists. Place full? Wouldn't say that now. Then a tone of voice suited to interrogating a prisoner of war or pressing a suspect into a false confession, Cass asked, "Do you know what the fuck an apple martini is?" You know this wasn't my idea. You'd know. Should I put a jar up on the piano man? Shame paused for a breath of his own, bent down to knock the snow off his boots and out of the cuffs of his jeans. He turned and walked into the hall. Angie S., Cass's longtime ex-wife, set a drink at the end of the bar. Shame pushed the swing door out and walked into the room. Low in the corner of his eye, he saw that a thin, woven rug had been placed under the piano, both still set diagonally to the room. The top of the upright was propped open, but Shame didn't see that. He plucked the drink from the end of the bar, and it felt like he'd stepped on a frayed corner of why Cass and Angie S. had been so long divorced and had stayed together, now, for longer than they'd been married. Angie stepped behind him at the end of the bar. "That you?" "You asking?" "Oh, that you? Excuse me. Man, you both all incessant tonight. Have you looked outside?" "I ain't cessing nothing. Why bother looking out? Look to me like it's all coming in here tonight." "What? Don't tell me you had some trouble with the commute, piano man." He didn't turn around. Angie always had an old-time southern anvil swinging behind her eyes when she looked at you. Whether she was playing or not, it was the same. He didn't need to look, but he almost ducked. He could feel her eyes sweep over his shoulder into the crowded room where she'd pronounced all with her neck like he knew she had. She knew he knew. They'd known each other a few weeks, had been finishing each other's sentences since the first moment. Sentences they both knew didn't mean what they said they said. So this was trust. Or it was close enough. "You know, that reporter from the Reader was back here earlier asking questions, following up about the construction laborer/piano player." Shame nodded his head to the side toward the piano. "And who put that rug under there, Snow White?" "Oh, I see. You want me to come around the bar and commence to be incessant?" Fighting back a smile and narrowing down his focus to a pinpoint, Shame turned back to the right and walked to the piano, without looking any further into the room than the near end of the bar. He didn't want to know. He told himself he didn't care who was there and who wasn't. He sat down with his back diagonal to the room, facing the corner. He took a long, thin sip from his drink. A slice of ice slipped into his mouth and back into the glass. Exactly like that, he thought. That's how this would go. He didn't want to see the room that had Cass and Angie's snitches in such playful, taunting stitches. He could feel Angie's smile warm on his back, and he knew she wasn't smiling anymore. He thought, what a pair, a short chain made of two missing links. He could almost hear Angie. "Oh, right, now you want to talk about pairs." Shame had played low on the keys all week, and Pearlie's 9-year-old twins had been at his place. She'd been cleaning 2 houses, one for a wedding and one for a funeral, both way north, past Evanston someplace. Shame's playing hadn't been east of Middle C since the twins had been there. Latessa and Vanessa. The girls said that they wanted to be a tag team of magician-beauticians. They resolutely ignored all of Ndiya's attempts at communication and spent their time braiding